Shalom, brothers and sisters. Now, we've touched a lot on the fact that depopulation is a major agenda of the enemy. And it comes directly from the hatred of Lucifer for us that God loves so much. And we're seeing that depopulation ramp up and become part of the new normal worldwide. And not even just that, but openly talked about and celebrated. Whereas in the past we would have been horrified or shocked at this, now it's in the open and it's celebrated. And that in itself should tell you how far along we are into this darkness of the end of the age and how evil this generation has just become at this point. Now I want to share this story with you, and this is just one example of exactly that. Canadian euthanasia doctor takes delight in having killed hundreds through assisted suicide. Now, obviously it's a Canadian doctor because Canada, I firmly believe, and I've discussed this before, that different countries have been given different tasks or different missions to get things fine-tuned and ready for that final 7-year period. So South Africa is fine-tuning and perfecting, destroying the power grid and load shedding and things like that, 100%. And other countries are doing different things. The thing Canada is doing is euthanasia. They are leading the forefront on this. With the MAID system and everything else, they were leading the charge on this. And therefore, this article. Dr. Ellen Weber. Yeah. Now, let me just stop there, and I'm not being ugly. It just comes to my mind immediately. The whole World War II situation, which happened to happen in a sabbatical period of 7 years as well. Interesting, right? A 7-year foreshadow of what's coming and how many Jews they slaughtered and murdered and all the things that they did. So huge depopulation agenda just there and the evil that ran rampant. And then you think of Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party and the Waffen-SS and all these things. Then I hear a name of an evil doctor, Dr. Ellen Weber, and I think Nazi Germany, Adolf Hitler. You know, there are people that believe that the Antichrist will be Adolf Hitler reborn, cloned, brought back to life. One of the previous leaders, head wound, he died from a gunshot to the head, that is brought back again to rule and still, And he talked about the 1,000 years and all these things. So, again, side note, Dr. Ellen Weber explained her killing efforts from abortion to assisted death and said it's wonderful to be able to help people. How's it wonderful or helpful to kill people? You're helping the devil. You're helping the enemy. Weber's enthusiasm and chuckling, laughing throughout the interview made viewers uncomfortable because they might be catching a glimpse of what's really going on. The doctor has helped more than 400 patients die. How many assisted deaths are too many? Weber hasn't helped people die. She's actively ended their lives by lethal injection. She now realizes that people are recoiling from that fact. I know the exact number, she told Kirky, but didn't want to provide it. It's become a weird thing. People talking about their numbers or criticizing people who talk about their numbers. Doesn't that make you think of this whole new thing in the world today and this new young generation of what's your body count? And they say it, very half, energetically. What's your body count? What's your body count? Like it's a good thing. And what they obviously mean by body count is how many people have you slept with? Because sexual immorality and promiscuity and everything that the Bible speaks against, the enemy speaks for, and is driving this culture amongst our young people and this generation. So it's become a statement where they say, and it always amused me because of the connections for me, what's your body count? No, I've slept with 200 people or I've slept with 50 people, and then they compare body counts and it's a good thing or a shocking thing. This woman does the same thing with dead people that she's helped kill. A body count, their numbers. Hundreds is good, she added, as Kirky noted. Weber has ended at least 430 lives by May 2022 already. It's July 2024, people. Think how big her number is now. What is her body count now? This is according to her own testimony before a special parliamentary committee on MAID. She grew up in a conservative, Bible-believing Mennonite home in Alberta, but abandoned her faith by the age of 17. Abandoned the truth and her faith for whatever reasons, and has drifted completely over to the dark side, and is now chuckling and laughing about the amount of people she has helped with lethal injection. One of her parents is one of them. It surprises me every single time, although it shouldn't, but it's because my heart is for God and God's people, and I try and look at people through the eyes of Jesus Christ and how he sees people, and it hurts to see the amount of people just being lied to, deceived, and murdered in this campaign of evil directed against God. And it gives us all the more reason to share God's love and forgiveness and truth with mankind as far as we can and everywhere that we can in the time that we have left. Because it is always a loss when someone dies without knowing Jesus Christ. Shalom.